Yeah.
Dolphins Chiefs, guys. How are we feeling
I
about
hate
this?
this. I
Yeah,
hate this. I've talked about this a few times. I hate everything about this game. Everything. This was supposed to be the game. This was supposed to be game of the year. This should be Sunday night football, Monday night football. But instead, we have them play in Germany at 9:30 a.m. So I'm going to wake up for it. Like it, yes, I say
You're watching the game.
Yeah,
you are watching the game.
Like I say this, like I'm not going to watch the game anyway, but I would like for that to be the nightcap. Like, also, we want to see what these two teams are like. Both of these teams have so many question marks. Can the Chiefs win if Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a great game? Can the Dolphins beat good teams? And now we have this in Germany where no matter what happens, the losing fan base and players are going to go, we just didn't really have it. You know, traveling to Germany was tough. So I don't know. We're not going to see as much as we hoped.
Listen, at the end of the day, you get to watch 14 straight hours of football. So I would say that's a good thing. But I do agree. Like, do you want to see the two teams overseas be like shitty teams that are facing each other? I don't know. I think that for a Germany debut, I think it's good that you at least have two talented teams over there. So I get your point. But at the same time, for the good of the game, for the good of the NFL, I think it's also good for fans in Germany. And I almost wonder too, like there's a huge army base over there in Germany. I wonder how many Americans are actually going to be at the game. So it'd be kind of cool if you're stationed over there in Germany and now you get to finally go to an NFL football game. And it's right around the corner instead of all the way back home.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's unique. And as an athlete, as players, I saw some comment. I forgot who might've said it. Might've been MVS on the Chiefs because you had to get a dog sitter or something like that, saying the travel over there can be taxing. But I'll tell you what, having more fans have an opportunity to see you guys and the product, and especially then that you just brought up, Brad, where Americans, if they're stationed over there and they can't get back, this could give them a taste of being back in the States, right?
Yeah.
So it's awesome to see, but also the more the game grows outside of the United States, that the better it is for all of them, for all the paychecks, for all the revenue that players hopefully continue to have higher cap spaces. Like it's all positive, but it is a primetime matchup that a lot of people I know stateside would love to see. Yes, I know you specifically, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about this for a second for the game, because Tua Tagovailoa was just named the September Player of the Month, AFC. Tyreek Hill was just named the October Player of the Month. So a lot of fins up right now for the Dolphins. Things are going well, but guys, the Dolphins still don't have a signature win yet this year. All of their wins this year have been taking advantage of the teams, or actually it's not taking advantage. It's beating the teams you're supposed to beat, but they are not beating the teams that they need to have a chance to move forward. Their two losses, the Bills and the Eagles, teams that have higher aspirations to go into the playoffs and make some noise. So I ask you, Brad, with this, what do you think about with that? You said earlier that you believe that the Dolphins, right? You took the Dolphins in this game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Correct.
Right. So what makes you think it's going to be different now because of what I just mentioned?
I think that it really comes down more so what I saw from Patrick Mahomes last week. And look, we can make excuses for him. He was sick, quote unquote. Tay wasn't there. So it was just like all around bad for the Chiefs juju, right? But at the same time, and I've talked about this leading up to the Broncos game, that the Chiefs have had a really soft schedule. Mm-hmm. And the teams that they've beat up on weren't great teams. They almost lost to the Jets. They should have lost to the Vikings. I think that this game will really show us who the Chiefs are, and it will also show us who the Dolphins are. I think you got two really good, solid teams. We think going against each other, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare. So that for me, that's what it is. I haven't seen good play out of Patrick Mahomes, and we went over his stats on Monday about touchdowns to interceptions. If he keeps that up, I think the Dolphins take this game. I really do.
Yeah, and that's why I think I'm more disappointed in this being the Germany game than I am just at the time it's being played. just because we have so many questions about the Chiefs and we have so many questions about the Dolphins that you would hope a game like this would answer. But then if Patrick Mahomes doesn't play well, last week it was the flu. Now this week it'll be, well, I mean, they went to Germany. Of course he's going to struggle. So that'll be this week's excuse if they lose. But it really just, me picking the Chiefs all comes down to I don't see Patrick Mahomes losing 2 straight games. And we've seen the Dolphins play against the Bills. We've seen when they get against good teams what happens. Yeah, like Brad said, we have questions about the Chiefs, but I would have liked to have seen this fully Chiefs versus Dolphins in Arrowhead, in Miami, Hard Rock. Like, that would have been cool, just so we can get a more normal feel of this game and see what these teams are.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, I get it. It'd be cool, but it's still going to be an awesome experience. It really is. And quite frankly, if we're going to be completely honest, both these teams more than likely are going to be in the playoffs, right? So this week 9 matchup, so many things are going to change because this is the midway point. If you think about it, it's 18-week season. Both these teams, there's so much that can happen over the next 9 weeks. But I will say this right now, Dolphins are the highest scoring team in the NFL, but they also are 25th in opponents points per game. Kansas City's in the middle of the pack. You brought up, Brad, that the Chiefs have struggled to score points. Well, they're still in the middle, but it's their defense that's going to keep them in this game. And that's the biggest storyline I want to watch. The Chiefs are near the top of the list in points allowed per game. I believe they're second to the Baltimore Ravens. So the weapons that the Dolphins have, can the Chiefs be able to sustain it? And if they can, which they have done a great job so far this year of any opponent that they've played, I think KC gets the dub. But hey, you got to play the game. Yeah, what you got?
One final thought: Jalen Ramsey is back on the roster. So,
and he had a pick. He had a pick against the Patriots where he baited Mac Jones.
I wouldn't say baited.
Mac
Jones just made a horrible throw.
Patrick Mahomes has thrown 8 interceptions this year, so we'll see if
he gets another.